and welcome to our podcast that will start our look at economics this semester. We wanted to go ahead and give you guys the opportunity to explore exactly what economics is, get a general definition, and start with some specific terms that really drive our study of the subject. So here we go. All right, so go ahead and stop the podcast here and write down everything that you want. Assume that you have unlimited resources, space, money, time, everything. Write down everything that you would want. All right, good. But did you forget anything? I know you probably said things like you want money, or a new house, or a car, or perhaps even a tiger. But is there anything else that you really want? Maybe food, water, shelter, clean air? Is there anything else that we want that we might have forgotten in that list? And so this brings us to the question of what is the difference between what we actually need and what we want? So ask yourself, how many of the things that you listed under the "this is what I want" slide are actually things that you need? Now, there might be a couple, like I need a place to live, I need a new house. But does it have to be as big as the one that you said you wanted? Consider that as we go through the rest of this. So in terms of wants and needs, there's a very interesting structure called Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, created by Abraham Maslow in 1943. And you can see it's a pyramid here, but basically at the bottom of this pyramid are what he called the things that were basic needs, things that humans absolutely needed or they would die. Food, water, warmth. And then moving up the list, you could have safety needs. We need safety, we need security. In this case, could be shelter. We need to have these things as a human species, or in a couple days, without water, we'll die. In a couple days, without food, we will die. If we're left out in the elements, rain, snow, sleet, hail, whatever, we would die. That's just how we are created. We don't have fur, we don't have thick hides. We need these things as a species in order to survive. The further you go up the pyramid, you see some other needs, he says, some psychological needs. Things like a feeling of belongingness or love. So friendships, relationships. Eventually, if you move up there, you'll see we have esteem needs, that we feel good about ourselves, that we feel good about what we have accomplished. And then the very tip of that pyramid is what he called the self-actualization section, or the self-fulfillment needs. That basically humans have this need to feel one's potential, that if we find joy in artistry, that we can really have a sense of success with that we can find some creative outlets. And this is definitely what separates us from other animal species. Dogs don't really need that. Cats don't need that. Lizards, snakes don't really need that. But humans seem to need that creative outlet, something that helps us reach our full potential. And so if you go back to your list of all the things that you want, did any of those things really fit on this hierarchy? My guess is perhaps some of the things might have led to your self-esteem. Ooh, if I have a car, I will feel cool. Oh, if I have a lot of money, people will think I'm cool. But when it comes down to it, if we don't build from the bottom up, our pyramid will fall apart. And that is something that Maslow talked about, that we need to have the base of the pyramid, food, water, etc., and then we can continue to move up that pyramid toward the idea of creative outlets. So let's tie this back into economics from the psychology that we looked at. This is the first problem of economics. People's desires are unlimited. If we ask people, what do you want, and then we gave them what they wanted, they will want something else. They will want the newest model. They'll want 2 of them. They'll want 3 of them. It keeps going on, which then leads us to the second problem of economics. We can't, as an Earth, as a globe, as a society, we can't satisfy all of people's wants. It's just not possible. We might be able to satisfy some people's wants by giving them absolutely everything, but that's going to go ahead and take away from somebody else. And realistically, we probably can't even satiate each person's individual wants, because once they get something, they want more, they want the better one, they want the newer one. And so this starts to build our definition of what economics is. People's desires are unlimited, but we can't satisfy all of those wants. Or, as Mick Jagger once famously said, "You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try So this is the central problem in economics, which leads us to a very important term that helps us define what economics is, and that is scarcity. This is the economic term of the condition where wants are greater than the resources to satisfy them. So if we go back to what we were talking about, there is a limited amount of resources on the planet. There is only so much water, so much oil, so much clean air, yet our wants are unlimited. Therefore, all resources are scarce. We cannot give everyone everything that they want. Because of this, we have to make decisions about how we use these resources. This is the study of economics. What do we have? What do we need? What do we want? What do we have access to? And then how do we make choices to balance all of those things in various types of ways? So if you're looking for the one-slide definition of economics, it's this: the study of how people and societies seek to satisfy their needs and wants by making choices when faced with limited resources. So whether it's time, money, oil, certain electronics, clothing, health, whatever it is, there's only a certain amount of it, and there's not enough to go around. And so how people, how countries, how regions, and how the globe choose to make choices around those scarce resources, that is economics. Now, many of us probably think that economics deals only with money, and money is a humongous part of economics because we think of economics, we think of economy, and money drives the economy kind of thing. And that's true. Money is also exceptionally scarce. Not everybody has enough for what they feel they need, and certainly not everybody has enough for what they feel they want. So definitely, money is scarce, and that is part of the overall study. But the social science of economics is much bigger than just money. It's how do people deal with scarce resources. So as we get farther into our study of economics, we want you to be thinking about this exceptionally important term of scarcity, which is basically the fact that we don't have enough of anything to go around for everyone. There's always going to be a shortage, so choices have to be made. So that's it for now. Thanks so much for listening to our intro slides here as we get started with a new semester. Please go ahead and bring in those questions, and we'll get those answered just as soon as we can. Thanks so much.
Money makes the world go around, the world go around.